Supervised learning is a type of machine learning in which an algorithm is trained on labeled data to learn the relationship between their input features and their output labels. Supervised learning aims to learn a mapping function that can accurately predict outputs for new inputs. An example of image classification is when an algorithm is trained on a dataset of labeled images to recognize and classify different objects or scenes within those images. In this example, each car in the training data is labeled. An example of sentiment analysis is when an algorithm is trained on a labeled text dataset to classify the text sentiment as positive, negative, or neutral. An algorithm is trained on a dataset of labeled audio files for speech recognition to transcribe speech and accurately recognize spoken words. For fraud detection, an algorithm is trained on a labeled transaction dataset to identify fraudulent transactions based on certain features, such as the transaction amount or the purchase's location. In this example, the algorithm uses a supervised dataset iris with an input of 4 features and prints out prediction labels. The iris dataset contains labeled data of 3 different species of the iris flower. 4 features of the iris flower are recorded. They are the length and width of the sepals, which are the green leaf-like structures that enclose the flower, and the length and width of the petals. The goal of a typical machine learning task using the iris dataset is to train a classifier that can correctly predict the species of an iris flower based on its 4 feature values. The iris dataset is often used to demonstrate the effectiveness of different machine learning algorithms and techniques, and is included in many machine learning libraries. The predicted label is 0, which, based on the features that were provided with new sample, maps to the iris setosa species.